coming, the Yanks are coming, the drums run tumming everywhere.
Welcome back, my friends, to the first show of the year. I look forward to bringing you the stories this year of many of the men and women who served and defended our country and you, and to give you an insight into what the military life is like, some of the hazards and the dangers that they faced, and in many cases still face. Many of us, when we were younger, faced the danger that scared most of us in the world. We're all faced with the thought of a nuclear attack. Many of us remember that when we were told in school, if attacked, to drop, duck, and cover. Kind of sounds crazy now today, and it probably wouldn't have done much good, but our country is worried about Russian bombers over our cities dropping nuclear bombs. It was determined by the military that anti-aircraft guns weren't adequate, so they needed a missile defense system. The Army developed the Nike Ajax system. The project started in 1954, and the missiles were named Nike after the goddess of victory. It was developed by Bell and Douglas Aircraft. It was a surface-to-air missile. It flew at subsonic speed and had a range of 50,000 feet in altitude. The radar at that time was inadequate, so they had to develop a new system and to use it. The system used two radars, one to track the target and one to track the missile. They also used an analog computer that would send a signal to detonate the target, and the target was not struck by the missile. It was exploded in close proximity. There were 265 of these batteries or sites located all over major cities in the country. Because of the use of intercontinental missiles by our enemies, the project was canceled in the 70s. The last of it was finished in 1979, and it was used for the Cuban Missile Crisis. My guest today, Matt Piwowarski, was drafted into the Army in 1974. He did his basic training at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and did his advanced individual training at Fort Gordon, Georgia as an MP. He was stationed at Fort Lee and Fort Belvoir in Virginia, and then he was assigned to a new MP company that was sent to Okinawa. He was discharged in 1966 and was assigned to a reserve MP unit. He then joined the Illinois National Guard as a missile technician, serving at Nike sites in Chicago and Addison. When the sites closed in 1974, he joined the Illinois Air National Guard and then eventually transferred to the Air Reserve. He retired in June of 1997. He is a member of and involved in the Oaklawn Elks and the Orland Park American Legion. Thanks, Matt, for coming on the show.
You're welcome, Jim. Nice to have you.
How'd you feel about being drafted in the Army?
I knew I was going, so it didn't bother me that much. So I had an uncle that he did 20 years, and he says, take the 2. If you don't like it, get the heck out. So that's what I did.
Can you tell us a little about basic training?
Now, basic training, you learn a lot, especially how to work with other individuals. Most of my guys were all from Chicago, except for one, and he was from Boston. But we had a good time.
Any special things you remember about it?
The 3 hills.
Agony,
misery, and heartbreak. Those 3 are the worst.
You also did your AIT at Fort Gordon, Georgia as an MP. What was that training like?
It was just like regular police work, learning how to, the weapon, how to handle your, at that time we had .45s, so you had to learn how to do the .45, and basic how to write up reports.
Also, basically teach you how if you had to arrest somebody.
Yeah, we did the arrest. They do what to do and what not to do. And just before I went over to Okinawa, they even taught us how to deliver babies.
That had to be interesting.
Yeah, but never had to deliver one.
You were assigned to a new MP company that went to Okinawa, and basically, what was it like being an MP in the States first?
Like being like any police department here, boring sometimes. Most of the time it was really boring because we worked 3 on, 1 off, and then 3 on, 3 off, 1 off, and then 3 on and then 3 off. But that got to be boring.
Did you do gate duty at all?
Yeah, he did a little bit of gate duty. He did a lot of patrolling, and the evening shifts were something else.
How so?
Boring, more so.
I understand. Hurry up and wait is our lifeline. When you deployed to Okinawa, what was the country like, and what was your duties there?
Well, I was in town patrol, and that was real interesting because I was up and down that island all over, and we had a lot of stuff going on because I was mainly doing the town patrol in evenings, so there was a lot of the guys getting drunk and all. There's quite a few of them that have threatened my life. I'm still waiting for them. And that's how many centuries ago.
Yes. How were the people over there?
Very nice. The country was beautiful. And we had, at that time we were there, we had jurisdiction over everything. So any GI that got into trouble, the local police had to turn them over to us.
At any time, did you think you might have to go to Vietnam?
No, I didn't think so. Because I was in Okinawa on a short time. Because they were starting a new unit. They didn't want everybody all getting expired at the same time.
Once you got out, you decided to join the National Guard. What made you decide that?
Well, I was working for Western Electric, and I had one supervisor that told me in order to get you got to please me to get anywhere. And I says, I don't go around trying to butter myself up. I do my job. I was doing it great. And I said, hey, talk to somebody, and they said, hey, there's a Nike sites. They're looking for civilians up there. So I went there, got the job, and then I found out, yeah, in order to keep it, you got to be in the Guard. So I stayed in the Guard.
What was it like being at a Nike site?
It got to be fun, especially when we were on the lake. It was a lot of fun.
What as a missile technician, did you have to have additional training, or?
Well, most of my training came on OJT, right on the job. I ended up in as a sergeant of the Guard. I was a Guard supervisor, so.
Did you have a lot of drills and?
Oh yeah, we had to have drills. We had our drills.
What would happen with when you do a drill?
Basically, the same thing we did during the day for us, but we had the rest of the reservists coming on and breaking them in. And if I had the drills that weekend, hey, I was on duty. I stayed up at the.
Did you ever see one of the missiles launched?
No.
Good.
We used to practice bringing them up, and never brought once in a blue moon we'd lift them up. It's not like we're going to launch it, but never did.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, they was, especially to bring those suckers up from the pits, and they were not easy to bring up. They were pretty hard.
You left the National Guard and you joined the Air National Guard. Why'd you do that?
Well, they sent me a letter that says, hey, you got 10 years already in. I says, oh, okay. Another 10, I'll have a retirement check. So I went to the Guard. Stayed with them for quite a while, and Up there, in fact, I was involved with one incident. One of our KC-135s, which is a tanker, blew up in midair. And there were 28 people on board. 24 of them weren't supposed to be on there.
So, what were your duties as an air guardsman?
Well, I was assigned to the security section, guarding the aircraft. And that's all I did was guard aircraft day and night.
And this was at
O'Hare Field.
O'Hare.
Yeah.
Was that all lined off? And
Oh, yeah. You crossed that line, we were able to put you down.
you were also involved in several different organizations, the Oaklawn Elks and the Orland Park American Legion. What were some of your functions and what does those units do?
Okay. The American Legion, I was a commander a couple of times. I also am now the honor guard sergeant. That we, every so often, one of the funeral homes would call us, and we would, if we were able to, we go out to the cemetery and do the honors for the vet. Or the vet normally would get 2 out of the 3 salutes there, because they normally would get the caps and the colors. Firing is the 3rd one, and we would provide for the firing. And with the Oaklawn, I was also here again. I was the president of the club, and now I'm in charge of what they call a PER, Past Exalted Ruler, and we do a lot with the vets. In fact, I do, like tomorrow night, 6:30 at Heinz in Building 217. I run bingo.
Oh, okay.
Every month.
Now, the American Legion, it does a lot of help for vets too, doesn't it?
Yeah, they do have stuff for that. But I think they also do a little bit more than some of these Legion posts.
Now, what's the difference between the American Legion and Veterans of Foreign Wars?
Okay, Veterans of Foreign Wars, they maintain that you have to have boots on the ground in a war zone. I probably could go into the VFW now because I was in Korea for a couple of weeks, and we were stationed there.
Been there and done that.
Well, well, you know how Korea is. Yep. I was in fact, I was with civil engineers at the time, and we were rehabbing the terminal.
Right. Well, my last question I always ask all my guests is, how do you feel about being a vet?
It's just, to me, it's just another thing that happened, that I did, and that was it. That's something I had to do it, and I did it. And when I retired, a lot of people said, "Hey, would you go back?" I said, "If they wanted you back," I said, "Look at them," I says, "in a heartbeat."
Yeah.
But they had to offer me one of 2, because I carried 3 AFCs for the Air Force, 2 for the security section, and 1 for CE. And I said, I'd take a chance. Give me the security.
Yeah. Yeah, and like most vets, we all, if we had to do it again, we would do it.
Yep, I'll still do it. And now I heard the Air Force is jacking up the recall for certain individuals to, I think, 70. So I'm just a little too old for that.
Yeah, we all are. Matt, thanks for coming on my show.
You're welcome.
I'd like to present you with this coin and this pin.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. I received a letter from one of the units we send care packages to, and I'd like to read it to you. Thank you for your support over the holidays. We were able to get care packages to over 450 soldiers through Iraq and Syria. Your care made a difference to them while we were away from friends and family over the holidays. May God continue to bless you as you serve. Blessings and Happy New Year, Chaplain Dimmick. As you can see, your donations have helped many to make so many men and women who serve happy. The situation in the Middle East is heating up right now. Please continue to keep our servicemen and women in your prayers and continue to support the organization like Kruse's Krew to help support our troops. Thank you again for watching this show. We will be back next month to tell you the story of other brave men and women who served our country here on PHTV4. Happy New Year, honor, and respect.